The 10 News Weather Authority, always watching and tracking for you from the JES Weather Center.
All right, a pretty potent storm system moving across the eastern U.S. You see some of that snow in Missouri, most of that rain and heavy storms, especially across the Florida Panhandle. And we're kind of stuck in between. So for right now, we're just kind of stuck with some mist and some drizzle. Some of that's too fine, too small, and too shallow for the radar beam to really catch on to. So you don't see a whole lot of that right now, but more tangible rain is on the way. Here's 1 p.m. and notice we're still just kind of stuck under the gray right there. But as we head beyond 4 or 5 p.m., some of that moisture is going to start to spill in from the south and west. Most of this resulting in some steady rain, but in the yellows and oranges, you see some of those heavier pockets that'll come in really through the rest of the evening into the overnight. And can't rule out a few claps of thunder, especially with some warm air above the surface. That could help to get things going, but the severe weather threat stays off toward the south. Overnight up until about 4 a.m. or so, we'll continue to track some of that rain. On the back edge, colder air, maybe some mountain snow showers, especially Bland, Tazewell, Giles, Wythe, and Grayson counties. Minimal, if any, accumulation out of that, by the way. By sunrise, we're mostly dry. But we see the sun increasing as we go throughout the day. Tomorrow comes at a little bit of a cost. We'll talk about the wind here in just a little bit, but as far as overnight lows are concerned, most of us 36 to 42. Nothing to write home about, but when you factor in the wind, it'll add some extra chill, make things a little uncomfortable at times first thing tomorrow morning. Highs outside of that, mostly 45 to 50, pretty typical given the fact that it is early to mid-February. Now let's talk about the wind. This is going to get stronger overnight into at least midday tomorrow. And the purple is where you could see peak wind gusts 45 to perhaps as strong as 60 miles per hour. Be careful on I-77, Carroll County. In the red, that's where we see gusts of 30 to 45 miles per hour. East of US 29 is where the wind is maybe not quite as strong, but something to think about. Bring in the basketball hoops, the trampolines, the trash cans, as some of those may blow around in the wind on Tuesday. Power outages are not going to be widespread, but some sporadic ones can't be ruled out. Thankfully, the wind calms down by Valentine's Day. First thing in the morning, 30s, afternoon highs, 50s. Date night temperatures, they'll be in the low to mid 40s. Then later this week, we keep an eye on the northern half and the southern half of the air pattern. There you see the cold air to the north, the moisture to the south. Let's fast forward into the weekend, and you notice that both of those are still pretty disjointed from one another. So the pattern still needs to be watched, but for the time being, it looks like the weekend is mostly going to be dry and void of any kind of snow. But during El Niños, like what we see right now, you on average see 8.4 inches of snow in February and in March. Again, not seeing that in the extended forecast. Highs in the upper 40s, lower 50s through Valentine's Day. Beyond that, we're a little milder with highs mid to upper 50s through Friday. Then the weekend for the time being uneventful. Overnight lows 20s and 30s, highs upper 40s and lower 50s.